It's Monday afternoon in Tryon, North Carolina, Melrose Mountain, higher ground. Today I went down to the Polk Baptist Associational meeting in North Carolina, and we had the speaker from Sandy Springs Baptist Church in the Polk Association. He brought a great message on forgiveness. If you have time today, read Matthew 6:12 through 15, Mark 11:25 through 26, Luke 23:44, Ephesians 4:31 and 32. If you didn't get those, as I said them, that's okay, because you can play this back and stop and start it as you need to in order to get all of those references. Each one, of course, stresses the fact that we need to forgive if we're to be forgiven. He told a true story about a woman who had had an ongoing rift with another woman in the church. And as he shared that story, he said that finally, after years, he got one of the ladies to agree that it was time to bring about forgiveness. And she wanted to ask forgiveness of the other lady, and the other lady refused. She said, "As long as I draw breath, I'll not forgive you." The pastor went to see both ladies. The first lady that had said she needed to forgive said, "I'll do anything that I can to try to get her to forgive me, and I forgive her." But when the pastor went to the second lady's house, she said, "As long as I draw breath, I'll not forgive her." The tension was great in the church because everybody knew one sat on one side of the church and the other sat on the other side of the church, and that they wouldn't forgive one another. The pastor brought everybody's attention to the situation in a sermon and said, "I have a desire as a pastor of this flock to see this come to an end. And I just want to again ask both of these ladies if they would forgive one another and put this behind them." The one lady who had already come to a place of forgiveness and was begging the other lady to forgive her stood up with tears in her eyes and said, "I know I must have hurt you at some time and another, and I ask your forgiveness, and I forgive you for the friction that I've felt from you for all of these years." The other lady said, "I'll not forgive her." And with those words, she literally died in the seat that she was sitting in. Now, I know not every situation is dramatic as that, but it certainly is almost like an Ananias and Sapphira story. It was not only for Ananias and Sapphira, but it was for all of those that saw it. This happened in North Carolina, in a church not far from where I'm talking to you from. As I began to close my eyes as the pastor directed us to think about people that had hurt me, I went back to my mother, who left us when I was a teenager, a young teenager, very young teenager, and the hurt that it caused me, my brother, my father. And although I was quite sure I had already forgiven her, and she's now gone, I once again forgave her and said, "God, I'm glad that I found it in my heart to forgive her." I thought about some people that hurt me as I grew up, as a teenager, made fun of me, and it hurt me, and as best I knew how, I forgave each one, name by name, face by face. I thought about people that had hurt me during my 33 years in ministry. Some older people, some younger people, but people that had hurt me. People that had hurt me deeply. But as a pastor, you have to hold it inside. And one by one, I asked God to help me as I forgave each one. Some may even be oblivious to the fact that they hurt me so deeply. Others may not. Nevertheless, I forgave every one of them. As I thought about family, There were times when my father hurt Lois. He's now gone to be with the Lord. And I forgave him for hurting somebody that I love so much. I thought about family members that had hurt me from time to time. And although some of them never acknowledged that I forgave them, you see, I believe the scriptures, and the scriptures tell us to forgive if we are to be forgiven. And I take those passages of scripture very seriously. I hope that you'll take a few minutes to look at them, and that you'll too find it in your heart to forgive those that have hurt you. That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.